Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to ABC24 Weather Impact Now. Happy Monday, everyone, and happy first day of school out there to all the kiddos that are listening out there. Hopefully you all had a, nice adjustment to getting back to school, and hopefully your parents didn't jolt you up out of your sleep this morning here. And the same thing for the parents for that alarm that you may have to get used to once again, waking up in the early morning hours. Today was comfortable, and this weekend was even more comfortable, but as we move through the next couple of days, we'll start to see that humidity and temperature rise back to uncomfortable levels. Here's a live look outside through our Cordova Tower camera here. We are seeing a couple of clouds in the distance there, but mostly clear skies are around the Mid-South at the very moment here. As you can see by current conditions, we are currently sitting at 87 degrees, feeling like 89, mainly because of that dew point, which is not as high as what we saw last week, thankfully, because last week was definitely brutal out there around the Mid-South. We are going to be dealing with low humidity at least for the rest of today and into tomorrow before we'll start to see some higher temperatures across the Mid-South heading into the later part of this work week. Here's a look at our temperatures right now across the Mid-South, though. 87 looks to be the temperature near Memphis at the very moment, around 83 for Covington, 86 for Truman, around 88 for Tunica and Clarksdale. But Dyersburg is sitting at one of the coolest portions around the region, one of the coolest portions, around 85 degrees at the very moment here. Current heat indexes, though, not too far away from the actual temperatures. We're only feeling like the mid and upper 80s, or at least the upper 80s and lower 90s across the region. So that denotes that we are dealing with low humidity right now, thanks to the low pressure system that rolled through on Friday and spilled over into Saturday, which also did not bring much rain showers or many rain showers, but we did see some off and on rain showers heading into our Sunday, which was yesterday. Thankfully, we weren't dealing with, too bad feeling conditions. It definitely felt more comfortable after that low pressure system rolled through. And heading into tonight, we will be dealing with temperatures dropping back into a comfortable range once again, which is the mid and upper 60s across the region. We may see temperatures as low as around 64 degrees in some of the far northern counties within the Mid-South, but heading into some areas in the southern portions of the region, they may deal with temperatures near 70 degrees at the very lowest heading into early tomorrow morning. But that's not bad at all, considering later on this week, we'll be dealing with the upper 70s and potentially lower 80s once again with that humidity in play as well. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, though, we will only reach around 90 degrees. Lower 90s looks to be the highest range that we'll see in terms of temperatures, but we could still see some mid and upper 80s across the region with still that low humidity. So we'll mainly be dealing with dry heat, very similar to how we saw for today around the Mid-South, where temperatures rose to around the mid and upper 80s and some of the lower 90s out there with low humidity, which means heat indexes won't be too far from the actual temperatures. But this is the next impact here, this high pressure system that is currently sitting over the Great Lakes region, but we are still getting the effects of it by its circulation, mainly because of the sinking air. And I will show you that demonstration, or at least that explanation, in just a few minutes or so. The high pressure system is bringing us dry weather and more comfortable weather for the first half of our work week. Temperatures and humidity are expected to gradually rise as this week progresses, and the rain chances may also rise by the time we hit the end of this week as well, moving into this upcoming weekend. There's a look at that high pressure system throughout the past few hours or so. It didn't move that fast through the past few hours, but at least through the past 24 hours, it was moving pretty fast here, moving just to the north and east of our Mid-South area, the center of it, but it still brings us mostly dry conditions as we start off this work week, as it pretty much halts there for the next couple of days before it starts to move eastward across the northeastern United States here. But this is also called a heat dome. You may hear some people refer to it as a heat dome, mainly because of the high pressure system and its makeup. It mainly promotes sinking air, and usually when you get storms, you need rising air. So when you get sinking air, that presents us with calmer feeling conditions here at the surface. And, it increases the pressure, which is why it's called a high pressure system and not a low pressure system. At the surface, there's much higher pressure as compared to higher in the atmosphere. And the sinking air causes temperatures to only increase, or in most cases, increase instead of decrease. Here's a look at temperatures moving into early tomorrow morning. We will be dealing with the mid and upper 60s. 60s, just as mentioned before. Temperatures as low as around 64 by Covington, 69 for Memphis, 66 by Forest City, and around 66 by Clarksdale over there in northern Mississippi. Moving into tomorrow, our forecast is looking very similar to what we saw for today. Mostly sunny skies and temperatures that will rise mainly in the mid and upper 80s, starting out in the 60s and some, maybe 1 or 2 areas in the lower 70s at certain hour increments, which is why you see 71 there by around 7 a.m. But all in all, rain chances are expected to remain low across the Mid-South, maybe up to around 10%. We could see maybe one brief sprinkle, very brief sprinkle, if I can talk here. But that's pretty much going to be it. Mostly dry conditions are expected moving through the rest of the daytime hours for our Tuesday. Here's a look at highs for tomorrow, though. 88 for our Covington area, 87 by Dyersburg, Bolivar, 88 as well, 90 by Memphis, 92 for Tunica, and around 90 by Forest City. Heat indexes may just be a little bit lower than actual temperatures by a degree or two, but once again, low humidity is expected moving through the daytime hours for tomorrow, and we're expected to hold on to those conditions at least until by the time we hit our Wednesday, was when we start to see that heat index start to rise a little bit higher than actual temperatures as dew points rise as well. Back to the uncomfortable range, which is between 70 or 71 to around 75 degrees. That denotes that we'll be feeling uncomfortable out there due to that range of dew points, but we should deal with temperatures, or at least dew point temperatures, very close to that miserable range. That's where we could see feels like temperatures rise to nearly 5 to 10 degrees above actual temperatures, and it's going to be feeling brutal out there once again as temperatures remain in the 90s through the rest of the forecast period, at least through the 7-day period here. 94 for a high on Thursday. We may get a little bit of a break from the high heat and humidity, but still high humidities on the way heading into this weekend as temperatures drop to around the upper 80s and lower 90s once again, and we should deal with the rising temperatures once again heading into the next work week. Heat indexes, though, heading into tomorrow, not far away from the actual temperatures, just as mentioned before. Looking at rain chances through the next 7 days, low to start the week, just as mentioned before, around 0 to 10% heading into the rest of today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, but we could see a rise in rain chances heading into our upcoming Friday. And as you can see, moving on to the tropics here, just to talk about the tropics real fast, we are going to be dealing with still below average activity, but there we are as of right now. As you see the arrow pointed on your screen, we should, at this time of year, we usually see an uptick in the activity for hurricanes and tropical systems. But as of right now, we aren't dealing with anything right now. There's not even a chance for tropical systems through the next 7 days, let alone the next 2 days ahead of us here. Here's a look at our full 7-day forecast. We are going to be dealing with low rain chances as well as, high temperatures, mainly rising back towards and above the average for this time of year, especially by the later part of this week. But as we move into the weekend, a little bit of a cool down before temperatures start to rise once again, moving into the next work week here. So definitely make sure to be prepared, especially for later on this week, by drinking plenty of water, even as you're encountering the dry heat as what we're dealing with right now. But also pay attention to that forecast as we could see higher rain chances by Friday and Saturday. Meteorologist Daniel McDonald has your regional forecast coming up after this break. Make sure to stay tuned.